always taking action for you.
It is certainly an historic night for Metro Detroit. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Our city, once the symbol of American industrial power, now begins the painful process of rebuilding. The bankruptcy filing could mean layoffs, the gutting of pensions, the selling of city assets, and a whole lot that is unknown. We have Team 7 coverage, Cheryl Choden and Andy Choi, talking to the most impacted by a bankruptcy, but we're going to begin with a look at today's filing. It's the court filing heard around the world. 16 pages that will define Detroit's future.
Today we decided to file for Chapter 9 protection in the bankruptcy court for the Eastern District of Michigan.
Emergency manager Kevin Orr says bankruptcy was inevitable. $18 billion in debt, much of it in pension obligations. And he bristled at the suggestion he hasn't tried in good faith to negotiate that pension debt.
I've been over backward in the past 3+ months to, as I said initially, in this very room, first day to offer an olive branch, to reach out to constituencies, to provide accurate information, to hear their concerns, to sit down in a series of meetings, to have my public meeting, to go forward with our then June 14th stakeholders meetings, to have a series of follow-up meetings and continual one-on-ones. Quite frankly, anybody who takes that position just hasn't been listening.
Governor Snyder, who approved the bankruptcy filing today, told us resolving the pension issue will be painful.
It's really addressing the unfunded part of the pension liabilities, and unfortunately there are some challenges there because of actually mismanagement and other issues that have gone on for a lot of years in the city of Detroit with respect to pension funds.
I really didn't want to go in this direction, but now that we are here, we have to make the best of it.
Mayor Dave Bing assures that during this bankruptcy, city services will continue and, in fact, will improve.
We've got to think about reinvesting in the city. Right now, most of the reinvestment has been in downtown and midtown. We've got to think about our neighborhoods where so many of our people live. We've got to start reinvesting in those areas and the services that they require.
And as the mayor said, city services have already seen massive cutbacks in recent years. And now with the bankruptcy, union workers, including police and firefighters, are bracing for even more cuts. 7 Action News reporter Cheryl Choden is live outside City Hall tonight. And Cheryl, the unions say they are going to continue this fight no matter what.
Absolutely, Carolyn, they are. And for starters, they say tomorrow morning they will meet the police and firefighters union and their retirees with their legal counsel to see where to go from here. And other unions are saying the same thing. One national union leader said a Chapter 9 bankruptcy is a treacherous path.
You have some very disingenuous folks that we're dealing with.
I think it's very disingenuous what they're doing to everybody in the city of Detroit.
They're leaders in 2 different unions, AFSCME and the firefighters. But tonight they're saying the same thing about emergency manager Kevin Orr and his team. They say they don't believe they were given a fair chance to suggest or discuss their money-saving plans.
I don't see that them working with people at all.
We do have ideas. We've been talked to. There's been no good faith in this. It's not bargaining, it's not discussion, it's not negotiating.
Union leaders say they're worried a bankruptcy could mean pensions will be cut for retirees who desperately need them.
These people, over the years, have taken many concessions to try and help the city of Detroit. And now, when someone says that I've retired, I've taken the concessions, I did all I could to help you, and someone turn around and trying to snatch what little you have left out from under you.
Bottom line, they're both disappointed and say they hope that a bankruptcy judge will see things their way.
It's filed doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go. And I think at this point, as far as I'm concerned, they're going to have a hard time proving that they have bargained in good faith.
And we're going to form a coalition, and we already are unified. And they can't just abandon the city and just walk in here and think they can do what they're going to do. They need to talk with us.
Now, today at the press conference, Kevin Orr says he has been trying to talk to the unions. He said his patience was wearing thin. So clearly 2 sides to the story here. In fact, many sides to this bankruptcy story, and we will follow every single one of them and bring them to you. Reporting live at City Hall, I'm Cheryl Choden, 7 Action News.
All right, Cheryl, thank you for that live report tonight. Our Team 7 coverage continues right now with 7 Action News reporter Andy Choi talking to the people on the streets of Detroit. Andy, this is a time of uncertainty, but if there's anything we know about Detroiters, it's they just never give up.
Absolutely, Stephen. It's a resilient city. Of course, people are just concerned as they learn more and more tonight and in the coming days. The passion for the city remains, but the reaction to Chapter 9 remains mixed.
I think bankruptcy is needed in order to organize the city again.
The stroll along the Riverwalk is deep with reflection as the ripples of this historic day reach the ones whose connections to the city thread beyond the walls of City Hall.
This is about obtaining the pension money and then throw it in the dust.
Victor Griffin believes bankruptcy was a foregone conclusion. His concern is with the state stripping his right to choose the city's leadership.
The EM came with a preset agenda.
We're still in shock because for the past 6 months, we thought the city of Detroit is coming back heavily.
With downtown revenues on the upswing, businessman Marwan Hashem says he's anxious to see what Chapter 9 means for customer confidence.
And now suddenly the city bankrupts. I don't know what they're going to be the effect on our business yet. The news still fresh.
And as Ulysses Williams rides off into retirement, his heart remains for those whose lives still hang in bankruptcy's balance.
Hopefully they take care of the pensions and the folks that can't go back to work and sit down to the table and negotiate this the proper way.
God bless Detroit. We're going to be all right. We're going to fight through this.
And we also talked to folks about personal bankruptcy, how people have been able to climb out of their own personal financial nightmares. Now, the mystery of municipal bankruptcy is why so many people are still waiting tonight to see exactly what happens in the coming days. Live in downtown Detroit, Andy Choi, 7 Action News. Stephen?
All right, Andy, thank you for that live report also from the city of Detroit.